Olá, gente, tudo bem? Muito obrigada por vocês estarem aqui no canal. E a gente tem uma primeira convidada, que é uma mulher, obviamente, que é a Bibi, um dos principais nomes do link building mundial. Hi, Bibi, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. I want to go to Brazil.
Really? You didn't went yet from Brazil? You
No,
know
I
where
haven't
you're
gone
going?
yet.
So
Sorry?
came here, and I'm going to take you from beaches and beers and caipirinhas.
Oh, cool. Okay, I love caipirinhas. Let's do it.
Very good. But now we're going to talk about a subject that's very important in Brazil, in all of the world. It's link building. And link building is changing every day, every second, every minute. And I want to start talking with Bibi. Please tell me, who are Bibi? It's Bibi, right? And
Yes.
what's your character in the link building universe? Uh,
Yeah.
so go ahead.
Yeah, okay. Cool. So, I'm from the Netherlands. I live in Amsterdam with my family. And I used to be a social media marketing manager, but I wanted to make my own money online. So I Googled how to make money online. And then I found like authority hackers and other people online that teach you how to make money with websites, basically. And I formed a little mastermind group of other people building affiliate sites. And they were my first clients because they asked me to build links for them. So I had a business before I decided to make a business, and that's how I grew from there. So now I have four teams. Most of them are in the Philippines, but I also have a person in Spain, and my business partner is in Florida, and I have someone in Trinidad. And yeah, we cater to clients worldwide, and but only in the English language.
Mhm.
But I have been looking into Spanish as well, but it's not for link building, but for my own projects.
Very good. Just for curiosity, what do you feel? Did you feel when you gain your first link?
Oh, um, wow. So it's really interesting because I didn't realize what link building was. I was an intern at a company where you could learn how to make money with affiliate sites. And a part of that was link building. So I was pitching guest posts to sites, and then I got one agreed. I wrote it myself, right? So it took me a really long time. And then it was published, and then I got a link, but I didn't realize that that was actually a win. I didn't realize it was something kind of hard to do. So it's like, okay, I got a link, so now I'm gonna, do
Mhm.
more links. I also didn't realize how important it was for websites. So my first link was kind of like, yeah, great. Okay, next, next thing.
My
So
first,
yeah, you probably want to hear that I was ecstatic or something, but I didn't know enough. So I was just
okay,
like, oh, this is how that works. Okay, cool.
my first link, I cried.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You cried because it sucked, or did you cry because you were
No,
happy?
I cried because I'm a Cancer. My zodiac is Cancer, and Cancer is crying. No, I cry. I cry because uh, since I started to study link building, I fell in love with for link building, and then I have 30 years of experience in link building here in Brazil, and I love it.
Wow.
Yeah, and my first link was to a wedding site, and I
Mm.
remember it's like today, it's like now. It was very good. But
I think it's
I think
huge. You should celebrate your wins every time. Otherwise, especially with link building, it's such a grind doing
mhm,
links all the
yes.
time. So yeah, celebrate when you win it. Good for you.
Especially, yes, especially when you are a woman in a man's world,
Yeah.
technological man's world. So, okay, but now I'm going to ask you some questions about link building, because
Yeah.
what's my goal is that here in Brazil, we can hear and we can study professionals like you, especially
Yeah.
women, and I want to show from Brazilian link builders how is another ways to do link buildings. And we are going to talk about black hat angels. I'm kidding.
I don't have a black hats, by the way. I mean,
So do
my
I.
business. Yeah.
Just
No,
Indian, just to buy links with Indians.
yes.
So let's go. And first of all, thank you very much for you and for your time and for your empathy to stay here with me, okay? So let's go. Bibi, for you, what is link building in 2003 and 2024? What we can wait about link building in this new world, in the entities era, in the EAs era? What do you think? What is link building now?
Yeah, so a lot of people ask me always to make predictions, and I'm really bad at predictions. So probably asking the wrong person. But I do think that because there's sort of like a land grab going on with content, because it's very easy to produce content now.
Mhm,
Um, I think it's important to make content that is the background of the content that's being produced by others. So if you know that a lot of people are going to publish hundreds of articles around a topic, but they need to link out to reputable sources, you should be that source.
mhm.
So I think one good tip for the future is to uh, think about where content publishers are going to link to, and then create content for that. So as a source.
Especially
Yeah.
in a blog, right? So do you think that every site can be a blog to publish her content? Is like that? Or
I don't understand your question. I'm sorry.
a site must to be a blog to publish
Oh,
this
you mean
content, right? Yes?
a site has to have a blog?
Yeah.
Well, you have to have a content section. I think that's important.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay. Content section. So link building is not just outreach and find prospects. Now, do you think that is more important is to publish content in a content section on a blog or something like that, right?
No, I think outreach is still really important,
Mm-hmm.
but you can't do it based on outreach alone. That will always make it way more difficult. So while you're doing outreach, you should really learn about what resonates with people and what doesn't, and you should build content on your site to
Yeah.
back the outreach up. You shouldn't see it as a standalone thing.
Mhm. I think so. I think so. It's more difficult to outreach alone. And
Yeah.
what's the importance of link building? What's the importance of building links to acquire knowledge panel? Because I know that you make a video about knowledge panel, and
Oh,
sites sites want to knowledge panel here. And what's the universe of link building in this new feature from Google?
yeah, so to be honest, I don't know much about Knowledge Panel. I think I
Hmm.
was I think I was on a podcast or webinar from somebody
Yes,
else
it was a
where they spoke
webinar.
about it. And I already had to explain to them, I don't know. I'm not really a very techie SEO. I'm mostly about content and then building links to it, but I don't know the ins and outs of the Knowledge Panel. So I'm not really the best person to reply to that.
It's not okay. It's not a tech question, but do you think that page rank and link building it's more integrated with AANT link building is the more important feature to this Google extensions?
You mean like, yeah, so I think you should always take that into consideration because um, if you have other sites that have that good EAT, then you should get links from them, right? And then you should have it on your site as well.
Mhm.
So that should be definitely something to look for.
Okay. Do you have secrets? What's the great mistakes in outreach for you? What's the
Oh,
great mistakes in our outreach?
I think one of the biggest mistakes is to not spend time on your templates.
Mm.
So a lot of times people just copy templates that they find online, and it's a pity because when you create good content, so when you have a linkable asset and you do outreach for it, a lot of people treat it as an afterthought. So they think, oh shit, now I have to do outreach, right? And then they start just copying any template out there. But it's such a waste of your really good linkable assets. So you can have the best content in the world and you want to do outreach for it. But if you fuck up on your outreach, if you don't spend time in your templates, nothing is worth it.
Mhm.
Then you can wait till you get passive links or something. But if you want to do outreach link building, then you should spend time in your templates.
Talking about templates, what's the best thing for you? What's the how to create a best template mail? What this template must be?
Oh yeah. So one of the things that I really love to do is to have some sort of theme. So you can use multiple themes in your template, but so when you're reaching out to a very targeted prospect list, so for instance, you're reaching out to plumbers or accountants or anybody who talks about personal finance or whatever, then your template should be themed accordingly. So you should use quotes or jokes or jargon or statistics from that specific niche. And that's how you make an instant connection through cold outreach. So yeah, so theme your templates.
I used to make with jokes. For me,
Yeah,
it depends of the niche, because if I have a more serious niche, I don't like jokes, because I'm a little bit shy. But in other ones, it's very good jokes.
yeah.
Jokes it open my email. And do you
But the
mark?
funny, but the funny thing is, it doesn't a serious niche
Mm-hmm,
like burial service, because I did link building for burial insurance, right?
mm-hmm,
Reached out to a psychology site. It was a very serious matter, but we opened with the joke in the template. But because we made the joke specifically for that profession, that's why it made a connection. Because when you look at, for instance, do you know people who dig graves? You know, they have to dig the graves, right? Where you
right.
bury people.
Mm-hmm.
You know how many jokes they make all the time just to keep, you know?
Yeah.
So don't let that stop you. Absolutely.
Okay.
I won't let that stop you.
It's very good, because I used to say here in Brazil that doesn't matter if you are working in a technological world, we still talking with people.
Yeah,
And
exactly. Yeah.
yeah, like you said, okay. And what's your BB secrets to acquire links, a lot of links?
So I really love the statistical pieces. So it's where you find all the stats around a specific topic, but you find it online, so you don't have to use your own data. And then you compile it into one article, and then you can run ads for it, but you don't have to. Um, but if your domain is a little bit strong and it starts popping up for keywords,
Mm-hmm.
then you are the reference for other publishers. So, for instance, let's say you do a piece on men's skincare statistics, right? And
Mm-hmm.
every year you update that. Whenever a story breaks or somebody writes about that, they will use one of the numbers that you mentioned in your statistics piece, and they will link back to you. And it's a really cheap way to get passive links. So that's one of my secrets, and it doesn't need any outreach.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's passive link, so it doesn't need any outreach. So a passive link, you don't need to ask for it. It's just given to you.
It's like a bait, right?
No, no, it's a you provide the background to the story. So maybe you should look up, or your audience should look up Stacey McNaught, because she talks a lot about this stuff,
Uh-huh.
and she knows how to do it really well. And it's a really easy and cheap way to get links. You won't get them if you're a really weak site, because then you won't pop up for those keywords. But what you can do then is, let's say men's skincare, right? So a journalist is writing about L'Oreal. They're writing a big article on it, and they need to know something about men's skincare.
Mm-hmm.
And they're Googling men's skincare statistics 2024. It's a really long tail keyword. If you bid for that keyword, so with ads, then you jump from position one. You never were in position one, but you jump to position zero. So the journalist is doing their homework, and you're on position zero. They see you pop up, and then they use a stat that you've talked about in your article, and they
Mm.
link back to you because you're a source. But the thing is, it's not even your data. The only thing you did was their homework, because a journalist has to do their homework. They have to look all over online for these statistics.
It was a
But if
very
you, yeah, if you compile all those statistics into one article, it saves them like 2 hours of Googling.
It's a very good idea, and I'm going to do it. My
Yeah, do
PI
it.
right now, and this month I'm
Yeah,
going to.
but you do have to accept that maybe it doesn't work the first 10 times you try, right?
Mhm.
And the ads don't work. But because it's very low cost to make, you can make an article like that for, I don't know, $25 or something.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. And I don't use AI to do it
No,
'cause
no, no.
they
ChatGPT
won't.
over. No, 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 no.
You
I'm
can
a
use SimWriter or something that can scrape URLs, but other than that, you cannot use AI.
yes, but it is a very good idea because here in Brazil with my clients, I'm trying to find ways to my client be a font for a journalist,
Yeah.
writing content, good content, and but your idea is very good because I'm
Yeah.
going to yes before Black Friday, yeah. So it's very good.
Yes, that's another one. So you could I've done Black Friday statistics as well. You can look up all the seasonal events and
Hmm.
then update every year. So every year you update. So in the URL, you should also not put the date. In the title, yes, in the URL not, and then update it every year.
And I'm
But
going
it's
to
not
do
it's
it.
actually not my idea. It's Stacey McNaught. So you should yeah,
No,
definitely
but
look her up.
it's a very good idea, and I'm going to test this. And if try, I'm going to talk with the link building in LinkedIn and say, hey, this idea is very good.
Yeah.
Talking about in this universe that we are now, and you said about statistics and this kind of content, for you, link building going to die to digital PR reborn. And what do you think about digital PR in link building? What's the difference between these techniques? Oh, link building is not, it's very far from digital PR. And what do you think about it?
Oh, what's PR? Sorry, what PR did you say?
Digital PR.
Desktop
Digital
PR?
PR, yes, because
What?
here in Brazil now and in the world too, the people are using content and using PR, journalism PR, to gain more links with infographics, with
Oh
research,
yeah. Well,
with
I know.
statistics.
Sorry. I
It's
know
not
what PR is, but I didn't understand the word before. So you said
ah,
PR. What was the word before? Desktop or?
digital. Here in Brazil, we talk digital PR, but it's PR. Uh,
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to know what do you think about use PR in the universe of link building?
Yeah. So I don't have a lot of experience with PR. I just
Hmm.
do guest post outreach and those linkable assets that get passive links and stuff. So I don't know. I think um I think that PR departments do need to be good at link building because they often forget to ask for a link.
Yes, yes, it's very good. It's very good. I use
Even
digital
with
PR. I use
sorry?
I'm using digital PR here because I'm a journalist on my formation,
Yeah.
my graduate, and it's good PR because I can talk with journalists about my client, and I say, oh, I have a client, and he can give an interview for you about some subject, and this interview is PR, but I can gain links too. So
Yes, that's good. That's
it's
great.
it's great. It's good.
Yeah.
How to find link prospects? Let's try that. Your content doesn't generate good links, a lot of links, and you must find link prospects. What's the tips that you have to find link prospects?
Well, I think if you do proper link building, and then you should generate content that's easy to build links to or that attracts links.
Mm-hmm.
So I would, in this case, I would just take a step back and see what's going wrong. Why if your content isn't link worthy, that's a problem. But if there's nothing you can do about it, right, and you don't have any link worthy content, then you should just do guest posting because then guest posting is not reliant on the quality of your own content. It's reliant on the value that you offer with the guest post and how you. So what I like to do with prospecting, I use Pitchbox. It's a tool where you can just put in. There are a lot of different ways of doing prospecting, but what I think is important is that you understand that there are not you but your audience, right? That there are different ways of doing prospecting. So a lot of people, they focus on keyword prospecting. So you look for a keyword that you want to rank for, or a keyword that's relevant, and then you find prospects that rank on the same keyword, right? So that's one way of prospecting. You can also do broken link building, where you look at people linking to a specific page, and then you find a prospect or a skyscraper where they're linking to something and you have something better.
Mm-hmm.
But what I really like to do is two different types. So one is where you look at the audiences. So you look for prospects that have the same audience as you have, or a subsection of your audience, but they're not competing with you. So, for instance, um, if you have a client in garden furniture, right? You could look at garden centers, or well, not really garden centers, but at what else? At maybe sites about sustainability or something else,
Mm-hmm.
because they have they're sharing their audience with you. So that's the other type of prospecting, where it's more like who has a segment of your audience.
Okay.
And then the second way that I really like, and you can combine those as well, is that you look for a type of business. So you look for all dentists, or all accountants, and there you have to do a little bit different prospecting, because you don't go you look at a site. So for instance, let's say you look for graphic designers.
Mm-hmm.
If you look for keywords graphic design, you're not going to find the graphic designers. You're going to find sites that talk about graphic design, but they're not the graphic designers themselves.
Yeah.
Their audience is graphic designers, but that's not what you want in this case, right? So what you need to do is that you have to look at like 5 graphic designers, their site, and then you have to find pages or something that they all have in common. So for instance, all graphic designers have a page called portfolio, right? So what you do then is that you look for instance, for graphic designer, New York City, in URL portfolio. And that's how you find all the actual graphic designers. It doesn't really matter it's in New York City, but that way you don't have sites necessarily that are content sites that talk about graphic design, but they're actually the type of business. So that's the other prospecting angle that I really like.
Very good tips. Do you know here in Brazil, pitbox that you mentioned doesn't work in Brazil. Even Haro or Basumo, this just features doesn't work here in Brazil. So we must to find
Yeah,
like the ancients talking on
yeah. So
Google. Yes,
how do you find your prospects in Brazil?
in Brazil I use Google, and I do these things, these tips that you said. I search from the keywords blog posts about the keywords or the theme of the subject, the headline of the guest posts, and I'm going to Google or Ahrefs or SEMrush to find these blogs and the sites that's talking about this subject. It's
Yeah,
it's like that because
but
here,
it's totally fine. It's
yeah.
fine. The only good thing from using Pitchbox is that it also scrapes for the contact data,
Uh-huh.
and it allows you to do all link building inside the tool. But if you don't have access to that, then I think for prospecting, it's really great to use Ahrefs. That's totally
Yeah,
fine. Then you
yeah,
can use Hunter or Mailshake or whatever to find the email addresses.
yeah. But I have a dream, Houston. I have a dream that these features going to have to Brazil another eye, because Pitchbox is a very good tool, and in Brazil doesn't work. Haro, it's a very good tool too. In Brazil doesn't work too, but okay. Okay, we work. It's better because
Yeah, it does, especially when you have multiple projects. Like if you're building links for one client, it's fine, right? But
yeah,
if you have 20 different projects, you really need a solid tool, because otherwise you're just gonna go nuts.
it's a lot of work, friend. A lot of work. And Bibi, do you think that guest post is still matter? It's important because I read a lot of articles talking about guest posts is not so good from link building, but I don't think so. And I want to know about your opinion. Do you think that guest posts still matter from link building?
So I don't know because I'm only in my little corner, right? And for me it works. I do
Mm-hmm.
have to say that this year the response rate has gone down. So I think there's some stuff going on with the email servers or with maybe people having safe email sender list or something like that. So I do think you definitely need to invest in link building that doesn't require outreach because outreach in itself has become harder. Also, because people use AI now to write a lot of stuff, guest posts might also have little bit less value because people can arrange their own content. But I think um, if you can show that your article is going to be way better than any AI out there, and your pitch is really good, it will still work. But it's probably safer to not bet everything on one tactic. I think you definitely need to have at least two or three different tactics to build links.
Yes.
Anything can always disappear, right? And I think a lot of link builders, they're so obsessed with scaling, so they choose a tactic that is easiest to scale, and then they fuck it up. So I think guest post has gotten a bad name because there are some agencies out there that have scaled it, and they're just sending the same templates to hundreds of thousands of people, um, and that's not great. However, if you offer quality, right, and you have your own little corner and your own style, then
Mm-hmm.
people who appreciate that, they will go to you. So clients will go to you because you're different than 99% out there.
And you can talk to us, what's the most important tactics from link building that you use now, and it's very good for you. Strategies, right? So guest posting and do you?
Yeah, guest posts and linkable assets. So those two things are still my go-to. I did sometimes I did dip into other stuff, so I try a little bit of Hado and try a little, but for me it's always so hard to because I do believe in systemizing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And to get it into a good system, like for instance with Hado, has been so hard that I give up. Um, so for me, guest posts and linkable assets, but it could be something else for somebody else, right?
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, like with Hado, there was this really good tool, Linkology, and it was really, and I thought, oh, finally, this is the answer, right, for me to be able to systemize Hado, and but then the tool was discontinued. So yeah, I don't know how people do Hado. It's just a nightmare.
And do you use to news jacking from link building? News jacking is a tactic. Huh?
No, I've never done it. I'm always admiring how people do that. I should do it, but I've never done it. I did have one like big fail in the PR link building. It was like when I was just starting out.
Really?
Um, yeah, I had a company, a client, and I still have them, and they offered the Ocean Gate thing. You know, Ocean Gate, the
Yeah.
Titanic, the
Yeah.
the
Yeah. Yeah.
bullet.
Yeah.
Well, they offered that as a gift to buy for people,
Mhm.
and they offered a lot of other stuff. This was years back, by the way. This was like, I don't know, 4 years back or something. And then I found out that the Titanic was being eaten by bacteria, right? So I reached out to all these journalists, like, hey, the Titanic is being eaten by bacteria. It's going to disappear. But this is probably the last chance that people can see it if they go on this submarine
Okay.
scientific mission. And I pitched it to all these journalists. I got a list from somebody from Gorkana or something. But it was really my first time doing PR link building.
Mm.
And I got zero replies. Nobody replied. So I was really like, oh, okay, so fuck, this doesn't work. And then 3 months later, this big news story broke out, and it was on all the big Fox and whatever, all these big things. And they said, yeah, the Titanic's being eaten by bacteria. And they had sent a diving team down to investigate it and to make videos of the last time that you could see the
Mhm.
Titanic. Um, but no link to me or my client. No mention of the client.
Mhm.
So I really, not only did I lose the link opportunity, but also they newsjacked my story that I pitched, right? So I was like so bummed out and so disappointed. Now, after the accident happened, I was like, "Ooh, phew, good thing that we never got links around." story because that would have been such a bad reputation. That would
But
be
you
such a
deserve the link. You deserve the link.
yeah. But also the client took the whole since it happened, they took the whole experience of the site, by the way. So they were like, nope, nope, nope,
Okay.
not anymore.
Bibi, it was a pleasure to have you. And you are,
Yeah,
it will be the first interview in my search one. I have a company agency, and the agency's name is Search One Digital. Uh,
nice.
nice. And you were the first one of the,
Yay!
yes. And I
Well, I
thank
really
you.
like how you reached out to me. I think it's a really good way to do it. So yeah, keep
Oh,
it up.
yeah. I don't bite.
Yes, I got
So
some
good.
open, to do that. So good for you.
It works. It works.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for to share your knowledge with us. And I'm a such big fan from you.
Aw.
Thank you very much.